months, getting on for 15 months of lockdown, Covid19, all that rubbish. We're coming out the other side now, and I haven't done many recordings of you like this in the last year. I think I might have done one. So, you know, you're a year older, a year wiser, and a year further on with the old Parky. How's it been?
1 minute. Stuck in my throat. That's better. Well, that's just another symptoms of Parkinson's. How's it gone? It's been hard going. It's been hard going because all I can really do is exercise and keep myself occupied at home because I haven't been able to work. And mentally, it's pretty tough for everybody. I have a few other issues. One of them is that I've established now that I'm suffering with a stammer. For about a year, 15 months. It's very difficult because I'm fairly new at this. I'm trying to keep myself very calm at the moment so it doesn't make me stammer. Because when I get too emotional or too excited or start talking too fast, that's when I get really sort of bad with the stammer. It's very, very difficult. We don't know whether or not it's partly because of Parkinson's, or whether or not I would have got it no matter what. But it's very rare to get what they call an old onset stammer. It happens, but not at 63 when I got it. I find it quite difficult to get used to. I've been battling with Parkinson's now for the last 15 years, and I think I've managed to control that quite well. And so now him up there has decided that he wants to challenge me to something else. And to be honest, put hand on heart, I'm finding this more difficult to cope with than my Parkinson's, because I can hide the Parkinson's. And basically it's because over the years I've done a lot of talking. I'm a good talker. I like talking. I like meeting people. And I find that now that I'm suffering with this stammering, I find myself, when I meet people, when I'm in company and so on and so forth, I'm not as forward as I used to be. I sort of sit back and listen and try not to say too much, because I know I shouldn't do it. A lot of people say you shouldn't. I feel stupid because I can't say what I want to say. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, don't worry about it, we understand." It's not about them. It's about me. It's how I feel. It's how I want to cope with it. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult to actually take a grip and do what I want to do now. You know, it's difficult. I've got a lovely speech therapist that she tells me off, and she's helping. And I'm learning now to, when I speak, to have to control my talking, to slow things down. But it's difficult. It's very difficult, and yeah, this one's going to be a struggle because I don't know whether or not I'm going to get worse. Yeah, it's an issue.
If it's Parkinson's related, which it is thought to be, as you develop your Parkinson's, would that
It's
also
hard to tell
develop the
because
stammer?
with Parkinson's you do get swallowing problems and throat problems, and I'm suffering with my throat at the moment. I'm finding it difficult to swallow, and talking, it feels as if when I say this to my neurologist, that it feels like there's something stuck in my throat. But I've had a barium swallow, and I've had a CT scan on my throat, and all they've come up with really is I've got a bit of reflux. I'm still waiting for the result of my CT scan, and that they scan just the throat area, but we don't know. I've got an appointment this Tuesday to see my neurologist, and we just basically talk about things that matter. I'm still struggling big time with my walking. Cycling, thank God, I'm fine with. I can still get on the bike and do a good 20, 30, 40, 50 mile, no problem. But to walk 100 metres down the road, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I wish I could have an answer for what I can do about it, but we're sitting wait.
Have you been told by your neurologist why walking is so difficult, but for you cycling is so easy?
No,
You
I don't
can't put a
think-
finger on the pulse?
I really, honestly don't think they know why. Another thing I get quite upset with is that I go to the neurologist and basically they're saying that you've got to remember a lot of it is because you're older. Everything is because you're older. Yeah, I understand we get slower. We start having medical problems. Everybody does when they get older. It's the body wearing down, slowing down, and telling you, hey, I've had enough. But the way I look at it is not for someone like me that's so used to exercise. I exercise every day of the bloody week, and now it's becoming a struggle. I'm really panicking that that maybe in a few years' time I can't do what I'm doing now. And if I can't cycle and do anything now, it's to me terrible. I won't tell you what I want to do, but no, we're struggling a bit, but we're keeping a stiff upper lip and hoping that they can come to a solution of the next way with the DBS. Could be something different with the DBS they can do. They've stopped my tremors, fair enough. But we'll wait. We'll try.
During the winter, when it's not so comfortable cycling outside, you've been doing a lot of work on an exercise bike with a particular bit of software. Tell me how you got on with that.
Oh, unbelievable. When it was raining and when it was really cold and everything, I've got it set up in my dining room by the French windows. And I was doing 20, 25 miles every night. And it's really good because it really helps. You don't know where you're cycling until you sign in. I've been cycling in the Alps, New York, Yorkshire, the London Loop, they call it. It's been good. It's really helped. Really helped because.
So what I'm going to do, John, I want to explain to the viewers what it is that you're actually doing here, in the sense of with the exercise bike, and I want to show the viewers. You can talk me through it. The bike that you use, which is this one over here. So keep on
that
talking.
one, yeah.
So you basically you take the back wheel off, don't you?
It's a genuine mountain bike. It's It's got good suspension on it. It's good for riding around the parks and off-road.
So for the exercise bike, you take the back wheel off?
Yeah, when I use my turbo trainer at home, I take the back wheel off of that, connect it up to my turbo trainer. I can either use that one or my road bikes and my turbo trainer. And
so what happens? Just explain. The turbo trainer is a bit of kit that takes the place of the rear wheel.
yeah, it's called an elite trainer. You basically take your back wheel off your own bike, connect it up to there. It has to be programmed, and then just get on it and pedal. You usually go nowhere fast. I could do 25 miles in an evening and not get out the front door.
So which bit of software are you using?
A company called Zwift. You're more likely seen it on the television. It's pretty good. The only thing about it is that there's so many people riding on there. You don't know whether or not they're riding on the software or the part of the actual Zwift download. And you get people zooming past you, and you can zoom right past people. It's good fun. So glad I bought it, because it's a lifesaver. I've been on it non-stop every day, 7 days a week. Yeah, and without that, I think I would have gone absolutely. Even though I've got a gym at home with a spinning bike, it's not the same. Not the same. When you've got a picture in front of you and you're heading for something, you can see a hill coming up, and you see cyclists up ahead. You know, the challenge is to catch them, and you sweat bucket loads. I'm gonna have a drink now.
So when you came out of winter, you've done 3 or 4 months of fairly consistent cycling on the turbo trainer, and you hit the roads with your wheel bike and both wheels on the bike, and you're actually out there doing it. You found it a lot better than you expected?
A lot fitter than I expected. It felt funny. It felt funny being actually out in the open and you know, and having to be careful of potholes and other cyclists and cars and so on and so forth. But it was harder in a way being outside, because when you're on a turbo trainer, you don't have to worry about all that sort of nonsense. You just get on it and go.
Going back to your progressive stammer,
Yeah.
You've started work in the last few months with a group of people online on a Zoom, I think.
On Zoom.
Tell me about that. What's the reason
Well,
for doing this?
it's called the Stammer stammer.com. There's a wonderful guy called Stephen. He started it up, and with a few other people. And basically, it's just get on there and have a chat with people. You know, I started doing that one, and then because I've had a look on the website, and it's fairly rare to start stammering late in life. There's another chat group we've started called the Late in Life Stammering, and that's only 2 or 3 months old. So we've only had 2 get-togethers. Just get on there and have a good chat and tell your story and how you get around things and listen to other people. You know, normally they would meet up in a pub or a cafe or a restaurant or in a park, anywhere like that. But because of the pandemic, it's all had to be on Zoom.
How do you think you benefit from having that sort of meeting?
Well, last month I was on the new social media site, and I met 2 really sweet young girls. Well, I met three sweet girls. One of them was coping very well. Well, they were all coping very, very well, and they had pretty bad stammers. But two of the girls just blew my socks off. They were, to be truthful with you, I didn't want to be rude to them, but I couldn't understand a word they were saying because they were stammering so much. But after a while, you get to know what they were saying, and I'm not kidding you. They were happy. They weren't depressed. You know, I'm depressed about doing a little bit of stammering here and there, but they couldn't even get a word out. So I said to them, you know, I should never complain about my stammering again. You know, they really taught me a lesson. And that's the good thing about this site, you know. There's always somebody worse off than you. And what I was complaining about was nothing compared to what the correlated girls were going through. Not one of them yet has said that they feel stupid when they stammer. And they stammer really bad. And there's me just stammering a little bit when I get stressed and get excited and feeling stupid about it. And these amazing girls just blew my socks off, really. So I shall never whinge again. You shall never hear me whinge about my stammer, even though it drives me bloody mad.
But what's so great is that, from my side, we're in Richmond Park. It's a Sunday morning. It's about 9:20. It's not particularly warm. It's about 10 degrees. There are a few people around, as you can see. But we love to be here. We love getting out. You love getting out. You love this sort of lifestyle, doing the exercise, just coming out and breathing good air.
Oh yeah, you can't beat it. It's, to be truthful with you, I get up most mornings struggling to walk, struggling to move. All my bones are aching and so on and so forth. But I force myself up, and I come and do a cycle ride, and I get back home and I'm full of beans. You know, it really does help, even though you're sort of struggling. You've got the devil and the angel, and the devil saying, go to bed, mate, you don't have to do it. And the angel's saying, you know it's good for you, you know it's good. I'm thinking, yeah. And I get up and do it, and I'm so glad that I do it. You know, but I could quite easily go back to bed sometimes.
John, it's great to meet up with you again, mate, and thanks for spending some time telling us about how you are at the moment. And it's always very rewarding for those that watch this. And
we'll just press on regardless.
Thanks, John. We'll see you again.
See you again.